Hey guys, and welcome back to Smart Money Minds. Now, this week in the market, we had a very strong drop from the S&P 500, NASDAQ. Everything is red. And so what is next? That's what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to look for some opportunities as well to see what's going to happen and another opportunity to profit. Just a little bit about why the market is so red this week is because we had negative reactions from earnings from Netflix. We had Peloton, who's actually halting production as their sales are fading. So this week you see here tech stocks actually had their worst week since March of 2020, since basically when the pandemic hit. Netflix dropped over 20% from their negative earnings reaction because they had to raise prices, and also they have admitted that their competitors like Disney and other streaming services have been taking customers away from them. On the other hand, we have Peloton. They paused production because there's just not enough demand for their products right now, so it's actually dropped below their IPO starting price back in 2 years ago. We also have cryptocurrency and Bitcoin dropping in prices, and that's hurting the semiconductor sector. So things like AMD, Nvidia, all those sectors are being hurt as well. So this combination of all these problems essentially are basically dropping the market as a whole. So what I'm watching this week is a strong oversold bounce. The key play I'm watching for is the first 1 to 4 hour oversold levels from all-time highs. And this is for a lack of a better name. So this is the key play. Likely is going to happen, I think, Monday or Tuesday. So what I'm watching for is a lot of key support zones that a lot of these stocks are dropping into. So my top watch, and I'm going to go over the technical analysis of them, is MU. You got AMAT and TSMs, because they are coming from all-time high and they're dropping drastically to a level that's hitting a lot of supports. And my secondary watch are Netflix, Shop, and NVDA, because they are overextended and dropping off into a support zone as well. Starting with MU, we have a move here. This is the weekly chart. So this actually came up and set a higher low on the weekly and pushed to a new high just now. But look at this support zone right over here around the $82 zone, and that's where it's actually hitting. So we're selling off drastically into this zone right over here. So that's why I'm watching for a entry. So I'm actually entered in around $84.50 zone. So I entered a low too early here because I saw this strong bull move. I thought this right here would be the bottom, but it didn't. But my position size wasn't too big, so I'm not overly concerned. So I'm thinking of adding a little bit more and stopping out if it does break through this support zone. And this is what I mean by the first hourly and 4-hour oversold. As you see here, the hourly is in the oversold territory in the RSIs. The 4-hour is in that zone as well. And this is coming off from an all-time high move from 98.45 here. So if we drop quickly and drastically, I'm expecting a good move to set at least a lower high, and then maybe it'll drop further down this way. Same thing happening here on Applied Materials, AMAT here. So coming off all-time high 167, heavy drops right into this zone right over here. So this is the first zone that is approaching around 134 zone, and the next zone right here is the 125 to 121 to 125 zone. So I don't believe it's going to hit this zone here, but we are at 1 hour oversold. We are getting close to the 4-hour oversold range here as well. So I'm anticipating that the market is going to set at least a lower high, and this is what I'm looking for as well. And I'm looking for something pulling this Fibonacci retracement here, something at least along the lines of hitting this 0.236 range, so 142. So let's say we gap down and we get a move back up. So that's about a 6-7% move right here. Now, the last one I'm watching here on my top watch is TSM. So TSM, once again, from all-time highs, it had a positive earnings reaction, but the market is dropping it down. So it's coming back down, and we're looking at this zone right over here around 120. So there's a good chance it may or may not hit this zone. So it could just hover around here before we get a move back up. So this one, these all three types here are the same play that I'm watching, just happening on three different names. As you see here, the stock market often gives similar patterns that play out in a predictable way. And this happens in a variety of different stocks. So if you do want to learn more about technical analysis and charting, make sure you comment below. I currently have a free course for a limited time, and all you have to do is comment below, let me know that you're interested, and I'll send you a code and also the website for where this course will be. The next set of stocks I'm watching are more secondary watch. So these are the stocks that I think are overextended into a support zone, but are not from all-time highs. These would be Netflix, Shop, and Disney. So Netflix dropped 20%, and the reason why I'm seeing this is look at how far down it is. From the lower Bollinger Band. This is the third deviation. So this is a technical indicator that we watch for extensions. So the issue about this is an event play. So it came from earnings. So it could get very extended, but it is in a support zone right around here, around the 375, 400 zone. So we could get a trade sideways right here before we get a sort of a push to try to fill this gap here, because that's a dramatic gap. And even if we don't fill this gap, I'm anticipating that there is going to be a slight move here just to get some, just for people who are covering their shorts essentially, to take profit, as this stock is getting a bit overextended. So that's one. Next thing I'm watching is also Shop. So Shop here, it broke down from this support range. So if you look over here, this is where it got traded quite a lot here and clearly broke down on the weekly time frame, but we got another support level here around the 840, 850 zone, or around this range, and that's where we're hitting right now. So I'm watching if the market starts to bounce. I'm thinking that Shop will follow along and give a decent bounce on the daily time frame as well. Lastly, we got Disney here, which had a pretty dramatic sell-off right down into the zone. Now, I don't love this one because this one has been in a daily downtrend for a long period of time. And as you see here, this could gap down and continue to sell off. But the reason I'm watching here is because this one is an event play. There's some volume here giving it a push. So we're going to see maybe that this could perhaps trade sideways or give a nice move back up. But I'm interested because there is a lot of volume heading into this move here. And it could be just an overreaction, and that's why we can see a bounce. Now, my strategies for buying into this weak market is always be late rather than early. Like for my NU play, I got in a little bit too early, but my size was not so big that I was going to be concerned about. So play small, don't overextend yourself, don't stretch yourself too thin with buying the dip and getting more into the dip. There's no reason to do that. And you're here playing the bounce, so don't overstay your welcome. You can take profit when you have it. Take a little bit first, and then let the play develop and see maybe there's a bigger bounce than anticipated. Don't worry about catching the bottom. It's very, very hard to figure out where exactly the bottom will be. So just take your time, watch for a short-term trend change. So maybe in the 15-minute time frame where it starts giving a higher low, higher high, and you see some bullish volume come in, that's when you can start thinking about entering. You set a stop that's relatively tight so you don't lose too much, and then watch that play out and see if it gives you the momentum shift that we're looking for. Now, if you enjoy watching these videos, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, and then we'll see you guys next time, and hopefully the market will be green by then.